Hi.
Hi, are you sure this course is just for 2499?
Yes, and you know this is the only course with this expertise across the world.
No way!
Yes way. Don't delay. Enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Hi everyone, very good evening and welcome back to GeeksforGeeks practice. Please give me a +1 in the chat if my voice is clearly audible to everyone and everything is working fine. Then I will share my screen and we can discuss the problems further. So please hit the like button and give me a +1 in the chat if my voice is clearly audible to everyone. And then we'll be starting with the problem solving for today's session as well. ओके ये मैगी का एड जीएफजी से क्या रिलेट करता है दैट आई नीड टू आस्क विद द जीएफजी टीम so many of you are saying that okay +1 is all the test cases correct I just solved the problem normally so I thought that after this video is over you can write if you feel that something was wrong, so after this video is over or during the comments only you can write these things and I will make sure to give the feedback to the GFG team. Okay, if anything is wrong so you can tell us so that from next time the problem setters can take care of that, but I will tell you the honest approach for those questions. One of the test case of the first question was wrong, I'm sure. Okay, point is noted. So guys, all of you can first of all hit the like button for us so that we can get started quickly. Okay, and give me a +1 as well. All right, so let me present my screen now. Also I might wrap up the session quickly because of some reason, right? So I might just take it for 1 hour or something. Let me share my screen. So I hope that the screen is getting shared. Yes. So guys, wrong test cases, so all of you can comment after the video is over also. So in the comment section also you can very much comment all these feedbacks, so next time, from the next time, our team will take care of this. Okay, so now let's quickly see this problem. Even if the test cases were wrong, no worries, the team will take care of that from the next time. Okay, so, and you can write problem setter op, GFG problem setter op, so this happens many of the times. Now what I will do is I will just share I've just shared my screen, so just give me a second. Okay, we lost our points, bro. I agree to that. So Sarvesh, for that what you can do is after the video is over, no, you can comment all your feedback, right? After the video gets over, so in the comment section you can give your feedback and I will share all those feedbacks with the team. Okay, so definitely I know that it's a loss for many of us, but we will now try to at least focus on the logic part of everything. Okay, right. Any other comments? How did one person solve the problem hard coded? Okay, so yeah, let's quickly discuss. Start discussing. This contest should be unrated. I think so. Yes, this should be unrated. If the first problem is wrong, so many of you must have spent a lot of time on the very first problem itself. Let's quickly discuss the first problem and what it says. Okay, so guys, can we start? If my screen is visible, you can write +1, and then I will start. So the question says min index. Okay, the name of the question is min index, and the moment I saw this problem, so I knew that I can do it using hashing. So you can tell me, you can share your approaches. Please do something about the problem setting. I will definitely, you can comment whatever issues you had with the team, and I will definitely share all those things with the team. Okay, I'll share all the feedbacks of yours with the team. Okay, now Geek was playing in the playground and suddenly he encountered an array of length n. Okay, so we have been given what? We have been given an array ARR. Okay, we have been given an array ARR which is having a length of n. Okay, definitely I also use the hash map. So we have been given this array with the length as n, and the geek wants you to calculate the index of element which has maximum number of friend element. Okay, so for a particular element, for a particular ith element, who are going to be considered as friend elements. Okay, for a particular ith element, what is a friend element? Like, what are friend elements, let's say. So friend elements are nothing but, for a particular element ARR of I. Okay, for this particular guy, a friend element is nothing but if an element is lying in the range. Okay, if an element is lying in the range 2 into array of I, right? 2 times array of I. Let me cross check that. Yeah, 2 times array of I, and in this whole range. Okay, in between this whole range inclusive, from here, starting from here, like 2 into array of I till 5 into array of I. If for a particular ith element, okay, if for a particular ith element array of I, if there are elements in the array which are lying in this particular range, then they will be considered as friend elements. Is this much part clear to everyone? I know, don't know, I was doing wrong. I guess the problem checker itself is wrong. Yeah, I think so. For the first problem, maybe the test cases are wrong. Okay, so that is what the question says. Is this much part clear? Please write clear and +1 in the chat. And guys, you can hit the like button also for a confirmation. Okay, and you can give me +1 if you are clear with this much point. Okay, the num should be a multiple was not mentioned. Okay, so yeah, basically it says that for an element array phi, the count of friend is the number of integers present in the array that are either 2x, 3x, 4x, or 5x. So basically, if it is lying in the range 3 into array phi, 4 into array phi, if if numbers are lying in this range, right, so then it will be considered as this thing. So please do something on the language of the problem. Okay, GFG has a standard, but today I lost hopes. Sorry for that. Okay, now if multiple elements have friend elements, okay, so let's say there is a particular element, like there are several elements, okay, that have got friend elements. Let's say array of 2, okay, it has got 5 friend elements. Okay, it has got 5 friend elements, right? 5 friend elements. Okay, if it has got 5 friend elements, and similarly, let's say array of 4 has also got 5 friend elements. Okay, and let's suppose that this is the maximum among all. Then in that case, which index will you return? You will return the guy with the minimum index, so you will return this index 2. Please write 2 in the chat. Okay, if multiple elements are having maximum friend elements, so let's say the maximum friend elements for throughout the array is 5. Okay, then in this case you have to return the index which is minimum. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Please write yes in the chat and give me a +1 if you all are clear with this particular point as well. Okay, and guys, please make sure to hit the like button as well. Is this much part clear to everyone? But the answer was 6. I'm talking about my own test case here. Wrong test case. Okay, yeah, like I'll convey this to the team, don't worry. GFG this contest on this platform, this is 9th time your problem. Okay, so yeah, I will share this Om, I will share this thing with the team. Okay, don't worry. Okay, now what we can do is one thing that comes to our mind. Okay, when we think about this minimum index problem, right? When I think about this minimum index problem, right, then one thing that comes to my mind is that I can do hashing. Okay, I can do what? I can do hashing. First of all, I can store the frequency of each and every element. So 2x पे पढ़ाइए ना, I can teach at 2x, but then student don't like it, so that is the reason. Otherwise I can definitely teach at 2x. Like I can code it at 2x. I also have the written code, so I can show that also. Okay, so yeah, uh, unordered, because I have already solved the problems. Unordered, okay, unordered map. We'll use an unordered map int comma int in C++. So we'll first of all have the frequency of all the elements. So I'll iterate through the array int. Let's say I starts from 0. Okay, then I will be lesser than n. Then I will do an I++. Bro, the question in your screens, the question in the contest are different, and the question in your contest are different. Are you sure? Just give me a second. I will just check that. Is it different? Solve for the above test case. Just give me a second. I will just check with the uh, contest part. Where is the contest? Not this one, the previous one. Past event here. Let's check this. Go to contest. Is it different from mine? Let me check. Mm, Go solve problems. Minimum index. It says that both are inclusive. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, okay, yeah, it is not mentioned. Okay, yes, 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 yes. You are saying the right thing. Yes, yes, I understood this. because I had been given the access just before this contest. So here it is written that it should be 2 into arrow 5, 3 into arrow 5, 4, 5. So it is written that it should be multiples in this range. Okay, but in the main problem it is not written. So this is a very big problem. So I will convey this to the team. You can write all these things. Okay, where to get written solutions of the unpublished problems. I will share all the solutions with you. Okay, don't worry on that part. Okay, no problem. So that is the issue why you are having this error. I understood. So they have not mentioned this. I don't know why this is not mentioned properly, but I will convey this to the team. Okay, so let's see how we can do it. So first thing that we will be doing here is, okay, first thing that we will do here is we will say that we'll increase the frequency of each and every element. Okay, that is what I can do. Then what I can do is I will initially have a resultant answer. Okay, like result will store the resultant index. Okay, and I will have the maximum frequency initially initialized as 0. Okay, the one that like the maximum number of friends. Then I will iterate for all the elements. So I starts from 0. Okay, then I will be what, I will be lesser than n. Then I will do an I plus plus here. Okay, that is why I thought why people were saying wrong test cases. So see, what we will do is for a particular element, if there is a particular element, see, if there is, like, if I am running, okay, so if I am up and running, so let's say if I is starting from 0, then I is less than array of I, right? And then I am doing an I plus plus here. So what I will do is initially I'll mark the number of count for a count of friend element for the ith element as 0. And then since I have to check for the, like, if for a particular sorry, I should write this as less than n. So for a particular ith element, right, for a particular ith element, its friends elements are 2 into array of I, okay, 3 into array of I, and it is 4 into array of I, right? 4 into array of I and 5 into array of I, right? So this is the thing. So all of its multiple GFD should answer. How guys still managed to solve? Okay, so yeah, so you can see here 2 into arrow 5, 3 into arrow 5, 4 into 5 into. So what I can do is I can just run a small loop because that will be constant time complexity. So I can run j from 2. J is lesser equal to what, 5, and then I can do a j plus plus. Please write +1 in the chat. Let's focus on the problems, guys. Very big negligence of this part. Yeah, I can say that, man. Okay, so I will iterate through all the multiples, and I will do what, count plus is equal to map of this thing, uh, j into array of I, right? So 2 into array of I, 3 into array of I, whatever is present that much number of times, I will count it. Okay, then after that, simply if this counter is going to be greater than the maximum that I have seen so far, then I will update the maximum frequency as the count, and I will update the resultant index as I, right? That is what I can do simply, right? Is this part clear to everyone? Please write clear in the chat. Is this part clear to everyone? Please write yes. Please write yes in the chat. Is this part clear to everyone? What we can do here, we can simply say that I know that the problem should have been written correctly. That is wrong from GFG's part, so I apologize on that half. But is this part clear to everyone? If yes, then you can hit the like button also, guys, for giving a confirmation. So basically what we can do here is we can simply say that we can count all the occurrences by doing map of j into array of I, right? That is how I can get this thing. So is this part clear to everyone? How you did B, guys? Okay, so B is just bit manipulation problem. Again, that will be using mapping only, right? So yeah, you should give fast explanation. I can give fast explanation, but in that case, some people will say give me slow. So what I can do here is I can simply say that the counter will be initially marked as 0. So I will give the fast explanation from now. So yeah, you can say that int j will start from where? J will start from 0. Okay, sorry, j will, I think, start from 2, and j is lesser than equal to 5, and then I can do a j plus plus. And what I can simply do as a normal approach is count plus is equal to map of j into array of I. That is what we can do here. And once this part is done, so I will check if the count of the friend elements for this particular ith element, okay, if it is greater than the maximum count so far, then I will update the maximum count to this particular count. Okay, so maximum count will be updated with this particular count, and I will update the resultant index if I have to return as I. And in the end, I simply return the resultant index. Okay, please convey the same to Sandeep. I'll convey it to the GFG team, don't worry. Okay, so in Java also the code will be almost the same only. There will be no big change. Represent but and expect us to learn from them. Present us questions and expect neatly present us the question. And can you give the solution? So I also didn't. Yeah. So yeah, this is how we can solve this problem because it gets accepted. So is this problem clear to everyone? Please write yes in the chat. Is this particular problem clear to all of you? Please write yes in the chat, guys, and then we'll proceed further with the next one. +1 in the chat, yes in the chat. I know you are angry with today's contest, but let's focus on the problem solving. If you are okay with that. Okay, Astik is saying +1. What about other people? Other people can also give us a +1, right? I hope that you are clear with this one, right? Okay, after the video is over, in the comment section feel free to give your feedback that the contest was wrong, problem setter did not tell the problem clearly or whatever. That is fine. I got the feeling that something was wrong with the problem. Yeah, I agree that it was problem was not conveyed clearly. Then if I see the contest, just give me a second. Okay, after this problem, what was the next one? I think the next one was summary instructions, go to solve problems. Just a second. Yeah, I think the next problem was this one, that is happy sub arrays. Okay, so let's now discuss this one also. Okay, what was it? Was it happy sub arrays? Yeah, happy sub arrays. So let's discuss this problem. I hope that you have no issues with this problem. Okay, now it's not the same problem of the contest. Yeah, I told you already that the problem I had requested for. Yeah, Emmanuel, you are saying the right thing, but from future I will ask the team to take care of those things. Okay, now the next thing is, this problem is based on bit manipulation concept. So let's quickly have a look into this problem as well. Okay, and again in this problem we'll very cleverly use some of the things, right? If you remember, like I want you to understand one concept, right? If you know, like if I ask you to count, like if I just give you one reference, okay, I'll give you one reference later on. Use bisect, range bisect. Okay, I think you are talking about some other language, maybe Python. That is why you're saying bisect. So see, basically in this problem, it says that we have been given an array of size n, and you can perform a magical operation. So in a magical operation is defined as selecting two elements of different indexes. Okay, so this says that there's a kind of magical operation that we can perform. So what does that magical operation say? Okay, what does that magical operation say? That magical operation tells us that we can choose any ith and the jth element such that ith and the jth element are not the same. Okay, we can choose two ith and jth element, like is defined as selecting two different like two elements at different indexes I and j, and xoring each of them with 2 to the power I, if the ith bit of this thing is set. Okay, if it happens, right, if it happens that doing an and of this expression. Okay, if for this expression the ith bit is set. Okay, ith bit is set, right? So in that case, the problem is asking you that if for this particular expression, if array of I and array of j for two different indexes of the array, original first problem, if anyone wants original first problem solution, if anyone wants. Okay, so yeah, you can see here that what we need to do here is we need to find two we need to have two elements, array of I and array of j. Okay, so we need to take the and of that, and if that and is set, if the ith bit of this and is set. Okay, so I'm assuming that you know how to check if the ith bit is set or not. If the ith bit is set, so in that case you can xor each element. Okay, you can xor each element. Okay, so let's say if you're saying that the ith bit is set, so in that case what you will do is you will update array of I with array of I xor 2 to the power I, right? So you will you will XOR each of them with 2 to the power I, right? So kind of you will make that bit as unset. Okay, like you will do j of array of j XOR 2 to the power I, so that will make that bit as unset. So array of I will be equal to this and array of j will be equal to this. Okay, this is what we need to do, this is what we have been told to do. Okay, but I will tell you how we could have further optimized it. So you can perform this operation any number of times, and an array is said to be happy if it can be reduced it can be reduced to array of zeros by performing magical operations, right? So it says that if in the end, okay, if in the end we can if you can make like how you can make a array happy, you can make a array happy how, by converting all the elements in that array as zero. Okay, so if there is a particular segment of zero, so this will be considered as a happy sub array. Is that clear to everyone? Please write yes. Right, please write yes. Is this much part clear? An array is said to be happy if you can reduce an array by performing this magical operation, and you can make it make the elements of it as zero. Okay, and your goal is to count the number of happy sub arrays. Okay, what you have to do is, you have to, in this problem, what you have to do is, you have to count, after performing this operation, you have to count the number of, okay, you have to count the number of happy sub arrays in this problem, right? Is that clear? Happy sub arrays we have to count in this particular problem. Is this much part clear? Nivedita Kaur is saying yes. What about others? Others can give me a +1. Hit the like button, guys, so that our video can reach as maximum people. And countdown also. Okay, I know you are angry with the problem setters, but still you can give me a +1 if you are clear till now, right? So what is you have to count the number of happy sub arrays, right? Now one very brute approach of doing this could have been order of n square approach, right? That I check, like, see, like if I will tell you honestly, if I have to count whenever it comes to sub arrays, right? So one of the approaches, maybe it could have been n cube, right? I could have done it in n cube, I could have done it in n square also, right? But when I say that I have to perform some bit operations, okay, when I have to perform some bit operations, in that sense, whenever I have to perform some bit operations now, then in that case it comes to my mind that I have to, and it is integer, right? And I think the input is given in form of an integer. Let me check that. Yeah, so the array is given in form of integer, so I have 32 bits, right? From starting from 0 till 31, till less like in this range. Yes, please write yes in the chat. Okay, so somehow I have to use these bit, I have to work on the bits, right? So if not n, then I have to make it like 32 into n kind of complexity, right? So I have to use the bit, like I have to iterate on the bits. Is that clear? This should come first in your mind. If you have to reduce the time complexity of your problem, then this thing should come to your mind. Is this part clear to everyone? Okay, is this much part clear to everyone? Yes or no? Okay, and now, like, see, in this case what you have to count, like this, in this problem, what you have to count, you have to count number of happy sub arrays, right? Number of happy sub arrays, right? Happy sub arrays, right? That is what you have to count. Now I will ask you one thing. If I change the question to a very basic question, okay, where does the inspiration of solving such kind of problems come from, right? So where can I get the idea of solving this? If I put one question in front of you, right, that count the number of, okay, count the number of zero sub arrays, count the number of zero sub arrays, okay, have you seen this question? Please write yes and standard in the chat. I'm just giving you an idea how to get the idea, how to get the idea or the intuition for solving this problem. Okay, count the number of zero sub arrays. If I ask you that, okay, have you done this problem using hashing? Yes, yes, you must have done it, right? You must have done it using hashing. Yes, please write yes in the chat. I cannot see the comments flowing. So with me, you should make sure that the comments are flowing in the chat. Okay, if you understand, if you want to understand the intuition, how the intuition is coming, right? So if you have done how to count the number of zero sub arrays, so in that question we use this concept, because what we do is we kind of take, we, if you have to count, like let's say if the question was to count the number of zero sub arrays, okay, if this was the question, then in that case what would have happened was, let's say we had some array like this. Okay, so let me make a quick array. Let's say if I had 2 here, then I had 3 here, then I had 5 here. Okay, then I had minus 7 here, then I had let's say minus 3 here, then I had 5 here. Let's say if I had something like 15 here, 14 here, and let's say 10 here. Okay, so if I would take the sum, right, if I would take the sum, so if you just take the prefix sum, or you can say, right, so this sum will be 2, this sum will be what, 5, this sum will be 10. Okay, then this sum will be what, 3, then this sum will become what, 0. Okay, and if I have to do one thing, just give me a second. So what should I do here? Just give me a second, let's think about it. If I'm getting this so let's say if I'm putting something like -4 here and something like -1 here. Okay, then in that case what will happen is this will become 6 and then this will become 5. Okay, so if you see if I had the question, you can do it without hashing as well. Yeah, you can do it without hashing. Like, there can be multiple approaches, I cannot deny that. So if the count with zero sub, like count the number of zero subars if I'm doing, so you can see here, like, if I have to count the number, so in that question what we do is, if a particular sum, like you can see, I could have taken a hash map, and if a particular sum is repeating, so what does that mean? If this is repeating, please write repeat in the chat or +1 in the chat. If a particular sum is repeating, so this basically means that in between whatever subarray I have added, that must have the sum as 0, right? That must have added the sum as 0. Like you can see in this case, if you will look for here this part, if I keep on adding the elements, and still after that, if I get the same sum after certain number of time, after certain period of time, so this if I get a repeated sum, so in my hash map, if I get the same sum, right, so this basically means that my sum has repeated. Is that clear? Please write yes in the chat. Is this part clear to everyone? Right, is that part clear? That if I get a repeating sum, right, so if I get the same sum again in the hash map, right, if in the hash map this 5 is already stored, this pink 5 is already stored, and I see another 5, and I see that okay, it is already present, then in that case, whatever number of times this 5 is present, that many subarrays I can make. Let's say that if I mark the frequency of 5 as 2, okay, so currently the count will become what, count plus is equal to like, see, I will do what, count plus is equal to map of 5, whatever number of times 5 is present. Okay, so currently if I say that okay, 5 is present 2 times, and then after that, let's say in future, if I will do something like this, just give me a second. Okay, if I'll do like add +4, then +1, and then I do -5 again. Okay, so, or if I do something like this, let's say if I do 3, if I add 2 here, 2 here, and then I do a -4 here, then this sum will become what, let me check. So this sum will be nothing but this thing, that is currently, remember, the count value is 1. Okay, count value is 1. Then after that, this sum will become what, I think it will become 7, then this will become 9, and then this will become again 5, right? So the moment, understand one thing, guys, understand one thing for the logic part that I am going to introduce for this problem. Again, if I see the sum as 5, right, so see, if again I see the sum as 5, so with this particular 5, how many subarrays with zero sum will be made? You can say one thing, that there is one subarray, this you can observe. So should you just do count plus is equal to 1, or should you just do count plus plus? No, because if you see, so this will be one subarray with zero sum. Okay, this will be one subarray with zero sum. Okay, this will be one subarray that this 5 will make. Another subarray with zero sum will be what? Another subarray that, see, this guy will make two subarrays with zero sum now, because this is repeating here, and you can similarly say that this guy is repeating here also. So there will be two subarrays. That is why whatever the frequency is, that many number of times. So 1 plus 2 we have to do. So total we will have see, if you see here, so earlier what was happening, this 5 was having only before this 5 you were having only one 5, so one repeated, so this means only one subarray, right? Then after that, with this another 5 that you have seen, currently the count of 5 is what in the hash map 2, so this means 2 subarray will have 0, right? Because you can see with this one and then with this one, right? So we are doing what we are doing, you can say this, I think I can agree to your formula, kind of your logic, but is this part clear, that we are doing map plus is equal to whatever is the frequency? Because with the latest 5 that we have got, it can make two subarrays with zero sum. It can make this subarray as well as this subarray. So we are doing count plus is equal to map of that particular element, so map of 5. Is that clear? Please write yes and the +1. Is this much part clear to all of you? Please tell me, guys. Does it make some sense? +1 in the chat is what I'm expecting. You can give me +1, you can hit the like button if you are clear with this thing, right? If what I'm saying is, you should do what, you should do count, okay, plus is equal to map of that element that is repeating 5. Here in this case it is repeating as 5. Okay. Third question, standard sliding window. Yeah, you can have multiple approaches for that also. I've used binary search in that one. Okay. So this is the thing that we are having, right? So that is why, if you will see here, so we have just added this thing. So same logic we are going to use here also, right? So what we will do here is we will apply a similar kind of logic here as well, right? So in this case, if you will observe what we should be doing, right? So first of all, what I will do is, if I will just increase the size of this window, so please write hashing in the chat. The very first thing that I should do is I should use hashing here. So I will use unordered, okay, unordered map of, let's say, int comma int, because I think the type will be int. Then I will declare a map. Okay. After this, what I will do is I'll not hash the elements here. So I will hash the bit, you can say. Okay. So in this case, I will say that a map of 0 is equal to 1. Have you done this thing initially? Initially, if you have solved that problem, so initially we mark the frequency of 0 as 1, right? If you have done that problem, and initially I will take a temp variable, let's say initially as 0, right? And initially I'll also have a, let's say, count variable, and count can be initially marked as 0. Okay. So this much part is what I will do, and I also need to take a mod, I think. So I will take the mod is equal to 1e9 plus 7. Okay. This is what I will be doing, and once this is done, so I will iterate for each of the elements of the array, and I will iterate for every element of the array. I will iterate through the 32 bits. Please write yes in the chat. Okay. So I is less than n, then I will do an I plus plus. For every element of the array, I will iterate for all the 32 bits. Okay. So let's say what I will do is, for int j starts from, let's say, 0, and then I will do what, j is lesser than 32, let's say, and then I will do j plus plus. So I will iterate through all the bits. I will iterate through all the bits, all the 32 bits that are there. I will iterate through them, and I will check. Okay, what I will be checking is that if it happens that for this ith element, okay, for the ith element, if I do an and of it, okay, for the ith element, if I check whether its jth bit is set or not, okay, if its jth bit is, let's say, set, okay, if the jth bit of the ith element is set, then I can do what? I can do temp zor is equal to 1 left shift j. Okay, so like basically what I am indirectly doing is I'm not changing on the elements, I'm changing on the stem. So let us say that if I'm checking for the like, if I have an like, I will take some example also. Like, give me a second, let me write a bit of code, then I will tell you. Okay, so I will take the zor of it. I will tell you why we are taking this as well. Don't worry on that part. Okay, then after coming out of the loop, I will say that, okay, if I try to find, because here we are talking about the zor thing, that is why I'm doing zor. That is the main concept. So I'll check if the temp, if I'm trying to find it inside the map and it is not equal to map dot end. Okay, if I am able to find this particular temp inside the map, okay, so this means that if it is present, then what I will do is, if it is repeating, then I will do count plus is equal to map of temp, right? Please write zero sum subarray if you are clear. Like that, there also we use a similar kind of logic. So here also we are doing a similar kind of thing here, right? Otherwise, if it is coming for the first time, right, if a particular element is coming for the first time, so initially I'll mark like initially I will put it inside the map, and then after that, if it is coming for the first or the second time, whatever, after that its frequency would be ultimately increased, right? And that is what we will be doing at each and every step. And also one more thing, I need to do what, I should do count is equal to count plus sorry, I should do count mod is equal to mod also, no, so that it is under check. Just give me a second, what is happening. uh let's check this out. Okay, so yeah, count mod is equal to mod. So basically I'll mod the count, and then in the end I will return the count. Okay, so let me return this thing. Okay, so are you getting a little bit of idea what I'm trying to do here, guys? Yes or no? Please write yes or no in the chat. Just needed your quick feedback. Is this part clear? Like, is this idea a bit clear to all of you or not? Why 31 bit is the sign? Yeah, so I'm iterating less than 32, no? So that is the thing. Check till 29th as to the power 30. Yes, but normally we have a habit of checking till 31. That is why. So, sir, even better take prefix or, yeah, you could have taken that. If you are thinking of that, you could have taken that also, maybe. So yeah, checking till 29 will also work. Yeah, but I have a habit of checking more than that. I have a habit normally that if I don't see constraints, so I have a habit of checking till 32. That is why I'm checking. How do you transform this to zero sub array? I will tell you. If you see this thing, guys, if you see this thing, right, if you remember, that is why I told this concept, that if a particular sum is repeating, so this means internal subarray would have been 0, right? So similarly, what I am going to do here is, if you see here, right, let us assume this thing. Okay, let us say that if I had an array, just suppose a small example, for a small example, suppose that you had 4. Okay, suppose that first of all you had 2. Okay, and then you also had 6, right? So can I say one thing, that in this part, can I say one thing here? If you will observe, like, what should I take here? In this case, let's say, what I'm trying to say is, I will let you know, in this case, what I'm trying to say is that if that bit, see, what I'm trying to say here is, if let's say 2 has 10 as the segment, okay, let's say there are a lot of other elements, and let's say this is also 110. So basically what I'm trying to say is, if this bit is set now, right, if this particular bit is set, right, so see, basically, first of all, what will be checked? First of all, if you will normally, if you will normally observe, so let's see this. Okay, just give me a second. If I can I take this sample example that has been given, it would be better, right? Or can I take, I can take this sample example that has been given, right? That is much better. So let's take only 2 and 2, right? Let's take this example only, right? So if I take this guy, right, so I see that it is having the configuration as this thing. So in that case, what will happen now? If you will see here, so this is this guy is not set, so my temp will not get this bit as set. Okay, because I'm zoring with this position, then I zor the temp with this position, so the temp now becomes what? It becomes nothing but 2. Okay, that is what happens with it. So what I do is, in the map, what I will say is that okay, now 2 is present one time. Okay, that is what I will say. Now after that, so you can see that t becomes basically 2. Okay, and 0 is present one time also, remember that. Then after that, when I will iterate again for this particular number, so that is nothing but 10. When I'll iterate again, so this particular bit, you can see again, it is again, this particular bit is also set, right? So since this particular bit is also set, so what will happen? T will become 0. Okay, and then I will say that, if is this guy present? Yes, it is present. So the count will be count will be indirectly increased by 1. Okay, so that is why it will count this much part as one such subarray. Like, are you getting this whole idea? Like, if you will iterate with this kind of code, if you will iterate for all the arrays, then you'll get this idea. So you can see here, like, if let's say this much was the array, right? So if you see here, let me take 0 also here, right? So if you see till here, if I have iterated till here only, so you can see that like, the count will increase by 1, because t is equal to 0 is already present. So zero's frequency will now increase to 2, and t is already 0. Okay, then I again move to the next element. Okay, when I again move to the next element, then what happens? I move to this particular guy, right? So what happens is, I move to this particular guy, right? So when I move to this particular guy, then nothing changes in the t, then t is 0. So I check with the frequency of t. So the frequency of t is what? It is nothing but, you can say, 2. So that is why count plus is equal to map of that repeating temp. You can say like, this is nothing but temp. Okay, so again it will be increased to plus 2. Because why plus 2? Because indirectly you can say that this guy is making a pair with itself, and basically you can see the two frequencies are there. So basically one thing that I can understand is, like, it is making 2 pairs, so that is why total 3 pairs will be there, similar to count subarray with zero sum we are doing. Okay, so that is why it gets increased by this. So is this part clear to everyone? Like, we are not transforming it, we are not really transforming it, we are just using the similar kind of concept here for doing it. Is this idea or the intuition clear? How does this basically, the main intuition was this one, that if you find that a bit is set, then you set it, and if it will again be set, then the number will change. And in that case, if that temp repeats, then you will increase the counter by that much, other because that much subarrays would be added indirectly, right? Because if that temp repeats again, so this means because 0 is repeating 2 times, right? So this basically indicates that there are 2 such subarrays that can be formed. That is nothing but 2 comma 2, and 0 can form with 2 elements now, one with itself also, and one with 2, 2 and 0, this whole. So that is how we are doing it. Is this part clear to everyone? Please write yes in the chat, guys. Is the idea clear? Intuition clear? If you are clear with the intuition, I tried to give a lot of intuition before this problem, so guys, you can please hit the like button if you are clear with this one. Okay, and you can give me a +1 if the idea and the intuition is clear, right? So a lot of people are saying yes. I hope that is clear, right? So you can hit the like button and give me a +1, then only I can move forward. Is that clear to all of you guys? Clear? Absolutely clear? No doubts? Then only I can proceed further. Okay, Ravindra saying yes. Since you were like, now I'm explaining, so you can give me a +1. Okay. I know you are running out of time, so I will try to wrap up the questions, last question quickly. But this is the code for this particular problem. If you want, I can do one thing. I can just generate the link for this code on GFG, and then I can share it with you. Just give me a second, okay? So I'll just do a Control C, and I'll open GFG ID right here. So I hope that Sumit was also clear. Okay, very good. So yeah, but this problem was kind of an easy one only. You can try to do a dry run on several test cases, and you will very much understand it clearly, like how we are doing what we are doing. The inspiration comes from counting subarray with zero sum, or counting subarray with the same XOR, or kind of thing, or counting subarray with sum as k. So those kind of questions, that is where the inspiration for this particular problem comes in. Okay, now let me share this thing with all of you in the chat. Okay, so this much part is clear. So have you been able to understand till now, guys? Please write yes in the chat. Okay, and do you have any feedbacks till now? Have you understood all the things till now? Please write yes in the chat. Just taking a 1 or 2 minutes break and wanting to interact with you. Okay, do you have any questions regarding the first two one? I have tried to explain the intuition for the second one, because the intuition is the main thing. How you can relate things whenever you get, whenever you you can see Subramanyam or Sumit or Ravindra or Deepak or anyone, that how to relate with standard questions. The problem setter had not, just given a standard problem only. Indirectly, it was a standard problem. Whenever you see bit, then you should think of iterating through 32. And you had the XOR also thing. So you could have done that temp thing, right? And also you had the idea of subarray with some zero, or subarray with some k, or subarray with a given XOR. So those three problems were the standard problem which was used here. Indirectly, that idea that if the temp is repeating, then increase the count. Count plus is equal to map of like map dot get, you can say, that particular temp, right? Is that clear to everyone till now? Please write yes, and then I'll proceed further. Okay, so a lot of you are clear with this. Please make sure to hit the like button also, guys. How many of you have not hit the like button? I can see attendance was very high in the starting. You can hit the like button if you want. Okay, so yeah, how temp will change, can you tell by example? I think if I'll take more example per mark, then it will take a lot of time. I have already explained a lot of intuition for it, and I've taken the sample test case, first test case that was given. Try to run it on more samples. If you don't get it, then you can ask me on LinkedIn again. I will take a proper test case for you after this stream. Okay, now let's get back to the problem solving again, and I will convey your messages. So one more thing that I wanted to say, that after this video is over, so you can comment whatever things were wrong with the problems. So you can comment that, so that our GFG team can see to it. Okay, because these live comments might get skipped, so that is why you can do that. Okay, so hi Vanchika Kapoor as well. Right, so now let's get started with the next set of problems. Okay, and basically the last problem for today. So let's see that also. I know this was the 99 contest, but what we can do with the problem setter, they sometimes they do make errors, right? Now in this particular problem, what are these people doing? Let's see. So this problem says minimum length. So just give me a second, let me clean the board. Okay, so this problem is nothing but minimum length. Okay, so what does this problem say? It says that once upon a time, okay, once upon a time there was a student geek who loved to solve problems related to arrays. One day his teacher gave him a challenging task. She gave him an array of n size and asked him to make the array as good. Okay, so the teacher did what? Teacher, like, you have to do what? You will be given an array, and you have to make it a good array. That is what the task looks like as of now. Okay, then the problem also says that now an array is considered good if the frequency of each element is less than or equal to a certain number k. Okay, so an array is good. Okay, it says that an array is a good array if the frequency of each element, okay, frequency of, if it says that an array is a good array if frequency of each element, okay, it is less than k. That is what they are saying. Then after that, however, array may not be good to begin with. So initially the array might not be good. They are also saying this thing. uh, Parmar subarray s1 s2 sk is happy if so or so. This means that if prefix is before, yeah, that is what I am trying to say. Thanks a lot, Subramanya. Okay, so fortunately the teacher had given Geek a lifeline, so he was allowed to perform one operation on the array. Okay, he can perform one operation. He could choose any sub array of array and remove it. Okay, so what he can do is he can choose a sub array of array and he can remove it. Okay, so that is one thing that they are doing. So if you can choose a sub array that you can remove, so maybe many people were suggesting sliding window. How many of you have done using sliding window? Anyone has got this problem accepted using sliding window approach? Because I did not go with the sliding window approach. So how many of you did it using the sliding window? I kind of went with the normal general thing. Okay, Bhavishya is saying that he tried. Okay. So he says the like teacher has given Geek a lifeline that he was allowed to perform one operation on the array, and he could choose any sub array and remove it. Okay, so the thing is that you can basically the thing is that you can choose a sub array. Okay, choose a sub array and remove it. Okay, and remove it. That is what we can do here with this particular question. Yes, that is the thing. Souvik has written it clearly. My research is how I did this problem as well. So Geek put on his thinking cap and began to work on the problem. Since Geek is busy with these days, you can help him. So your task is to return the minimum length of the subarray that you need to remove. Okay, so whenever you have to find the minimum length of a subarray that you need to remove, so if no subarray needs to be removed, then return 0. Okay, so in this case you can see that here in this case, if you will observe, right, so in this case you can see that 3136 is given, right? So the length of the subarray that needs to be removed is 1, because initially, as we can see, the frequency of 3 is 2, so we want to reduce its frequency, so that is why we will remove it. So then what we can say is, so we remove the array 3. After that, the array becomes a good array. Then after that, in this particular case, you can see k is equal to 1. So in this particular case, we can observe that what we should remove is, we should remove this much. I think what segment should we remove? Let's see, Geek can remove the subarray 1 to 3. Okay, if he removes this, yeah, because he has to remove all the elements, so he can sliding into. I tried using binary search, and binary search worked better for me. Okay, so yeah, right. So Geek can remove this much segment. So the problem for this is that you don't need to take the input and output and all that. Okay. By looking at the end also, that things are fine. Okay, so now let me discuss how I have done this problem. Okay, so just give me a second, I will tell you. First of all, one thing that comes to my mind whenever I see one, say, see guys, there's one thing that's very unique about this problem, right? In the question one also, you had to use some kind of hashing, right? Then in the question 2 also, you had to use hashing here, right? And then again in the question 3 also, like, you have to use hashing. Now can I say that, guys? Yes or no? I have to store the frequency of elements. Yes or no? Can I say this? Yes, please write yes in the chat. Agree with me, everyone? Right, so instead of writing the code, now I will try to show you the code, because I've already submitted it. Why by such, I'll tell you further. Let me try and show this up. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so yeah, hash, like, the problem setter had a love with hashing, I think. Okay, that is why love affair with hashing. So basically, first of all, what we will do is we will take a hash map, and then we will do what, we will increase the frequency of each and every element. Is this much part clear to everyone? Right, let me do one thing. In the meantime, if you want to analyze this code also, so I will generate the link also, same time, and I will share it later on also, but let me generate it now as well. Okay, so yeah, where can I share it? Just give me a second. Okay, so let me share this here. All right, so it is shared right here in the chat. If you just want to see the solution, then you can have a look at it. If you want to analyze it by yourself, if you don't want to see this, okay. Then furthermore, let's have a look. Okay, so what I've done first of all is I have I have this thing, right. So first of all, what I have is I have the frequency of each and every element. Okay, then after this, what we are doing here is, if you will see here, just give me a second for this particular segment. Okay, just a second, guys. Where is this ending? Did I write something wrongly? No, this is fine, this function is fine. Yeah, so basically this is the whole function, and instead of just return this else, that's okay. Yeah, this is fine. So yeah, so in this problem, first of all, what we are doing is we are first of all what we are doing is we are finding out the maximum, in this problem, first of all what we are doing is we are trying to find the maximum element from the beginning till the end. Okay, and second is less equal to k. Okay, so this thing we are doing, let's just give me a second. Okay, so yeah, what does the problem say further? Is there any other thing? Yeah, it also says that geek has to remove so your task is to return the minimum length that geek has to remove in order to make it good. If no subarray needs to be removed, then you have to return 0. Okay, if no elements, in this case I was using a hash map, but in the test case this thing, my logic does not work. In this case my output is 3 but the output is 4. So I think there might be a slight issue with your code, or it might have a error. Maybe you might be doing r minus l plus 1 or something wrong with that part, or something other that might go wrong. If I'll not see the code, then I won't be able to comment. Okay, so if you will see here, they are also saying that your task is to return the minimum length subarray that geek has to remove in order to make the array good. If no subarray needs to be removed, then you have to return 0. Okay, so the very first thing that comes to my mind right here is that this is the first if statement that we have written. Okay, I will basically count, basically I'll find the maximum element in the array. Okay, and if the maximum element, okay, if the let's say if I'll iterate through this whole array. Okay, and if I iterate, and then it happens that let's say all of the elements that I have in this array, right. If let's say what I can basically say here is, just give me a second. So let's say if you think about this particular array that has been given to us, right. So in this particular array, just give me a second, let me check furthermore. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, what we will do is we will iterate through the map. Sorry, we will iterate through the map. Okay, and we will check with the maximum frequency. Okay, we will check for the maximum frequency. If the maximum frequency element is lesser than equal to k, right. Okay, if the maximum element, right, tell me this thing, guys, do you agree? I know that could have been written in a easier manner. Can you discuss once again the happy subarray problem? How did you reduce the problem to zoring? I have explained it a bit. If you want more dry run, then you can try it out on some random sample test cases with the code. Okay, Harshit, because I cannot repeat the same problem, otherwise other people might get over angry. Yeah, so basically I'm saying that I'm iterating over the map, and if the maximum frequency, okay, so if the maximum frequency in the map, if it is lesser equal to k, then in that case I don't need to remove anything. Then I will simply return 0. Do you agree with me on this point, guys? I will simply check throughout the map. If inside the map, if in which I'm having all the frequencies, let's say I'm storing all the frequency of the elements as 5, 10, 15. Okay, in the map, if I'm just talking about the frequency, that is the second part. So I'm just trying to check in that whatever is the frequency, whatever is the maximum frequency, if the maximum frequency is lesser than equal to k, in that case, can I say that I don't need to change any subarray? I don't need to remove any subarray, so I will return 0. Are you getting my point? If the maximum frequency of map, if it is, guys, if it is lesser than equal to k, right, in that case we don't need to make any change, then we can return 0. Please write 0 in the chat if you are clear, or you can give me a +1 as well if you're clear with this thing, and make sure to hit the like button if you are clear with this thing, right. Is everyone clear with this part? Please tell me, guys, then only I will proceed further. Please tell me, is this much part clear to all of you, guys? Is everyone clear till now? with this part, if the maximum frequency of the element, right, if the maximum frequency inside the map of any element, if it is less or equal to k, then you will definitely return 0. Agree with me or not? I'm just asking for a +1, that's it. Right, then after that, I don't want anyone to comment after the session that you did not understood this thing. Okay, so this is one way that we are doing it using the standard approach. Okay, I just copied it from the internet, this approach of finding out the maximum frequency like this. But in this, what you can do is, you can just do one thing. You can write it normally also. Okay, you can you can write a loop also, that is also fine for me. Okay, otherwise, so you are clear with this point, everyone? Yes. So after this, what we will do is, we will mark the count initially as 0. Okay, and then we will check. Okay, then we will check, we will iterate through the map. Okay, and we will check in the map that how many frequencies are there, that are like how many elements are there. Like what we are checking here is that how many elements, okay, how many elements have frequency greater than k. Okay, so we are counting them, right? Counting them, right? Is that clear? How many elements have frequency? Sophisticated approach. Yeah, that, but you can do it on your own simply also. I agree to that, that there's no problem with that. Okay, so yeah, what I'm doing here is, like, first of all, I have a count as 0. Okay, then this counter is going to store what? This is going to store the number of elements, that are number of unique elements that are there in the array, which have the frequency greater than k. So I'm going to count all those elements, because I have to remove all those elements. Agree with me? Please write yes in the chat. Do you agree with me on this point, guys? Please write yes. Okay, agree with me on this part, guys? इतना agree करते हैं आप लोग? Okay, all right. So after this, what we are going to do is, okay, so this much part is clear, right? Now after that, after this particular part is being done, right, so we are doing what? We are kind of, if I'll say, like, if you allow me to say this, just give me a second. So basically what we are doing is, we are doing binary search on the map. Like, how should I say this? We are kind of applying, like, since now what has happened is, now my map is kind of sorted as per the frequency. Okay, because if you will see here, so I have done a bit of operations on it, right? So now I can apply binary search on the map, because kind of it is sorted based on the frequency. That is why I was earlier doing this thing. If you remember, right, like, if you remember this thing, this is a customized base sorting approach. Please give me a +1. Okay, since my array is sorted based on the second parameter, that is the frequency part, so I am going to apply a frequency search, like a binary search based on the frequency on the map. Is that clear to everyone? Please write yes in the chat. Okay, because since now my map is sorted, that is why I was doing it there. Is that clear? Is that clear? Please write yes, +1. Okay, because we have to find what? We have to find the smallest range, like, we have to find the smallest length in which we are going to make the changes, right? Why binary search? Because if you like, see, if you want to, like, if there is a format. Okay, have you ever done, like, again, I'm going to introduce you to a concept, right? Have you done this kind of problem? I will tell you. Have you done this problem, like, minimum allocation of pages or something? Minimum allocation of pages, right? Of pages. Have you done this problem? Yes or no, guys? Have you done this problem? Minimum allocation of pages. If you have done this problem, right? So in this problem, what happens is, now you have to do what? In literally, you have to minimize. Okay, minimize the maximum number of pages allocated. Maximum number of pages allocated. Right? Minimize the maximum number of pages allocated. Okay, so whenever, like, okay, so this is the point, that in this, like, how do we get the idea? Where is the idea coming from, that I am telling you? Okay, so the idea, like, if you see this question, right, so what we were doing is, whenever a question, if it happens, right, if you don't know this rule, so this is kind of a unsaid rule, right? If have you done, like, capacity to ship within d days problem? Have you done those problems, right? Capacity to ship within d days, capacity to ship the containers or the material within d days, right? Have you done these kind of problems, like, right? So whenever you have, like, basically what I'm trying to say is, whenever you have to what? Minimize. Okay, minimize the maximum. Okay, like, in this case, in this problem, what you had to do? In this particular problem, you had to minimize the maximum, or whenever you have to maximize the minimum, right? So in that case you can use binary search. Okay, so I have told these things in my batches. Okay, yeah, cocoa eating banana is also one such problem. So cocoa eating banana, I remember that cocoa eating banana is also that problem, right? So whenever you have to whenever you have to minimize the maximum, so in this case, like, see, whenever you have to minimize the maximum allocation of book, then you're using binary search. Whenever you have to maximize the minimum, okay, whenever you have to find the maximum value of the minimum that can be possible, then also you use binary search. So that is why I'm using binary search here, because what I have to do is I have to minimize the maximum length, like I have to I have to find the, like, I have to minimize the maximum length that I'm going to remove. That is why. Is this part clear? Please write yes in the chat. Painter partition aggressive cow, yes, yes, yes. Please write +1 if this makes sense, right? How does the intuition come for these problems? Is that clear much more now, right? Is this part clear, guys? Yes, yes in the chat. If you have not done these problems properly, then you will not understand. Like aggressive cow is there, in that also we optimize, right? Then my minimum allocation of book, cocoa eating banana, capacity to ship within d days, painter partition, book problem also. So please write +1, guys. Okay, if you have not done those problems, so this is the rule that whenever you have to minimize the minimum maximum or maximize the minimum kind of thing, so then we have a habit of using binary search. Okay, there is a problem, I will tell you. There is a problem on woodcutter. I don't remember that problem. There is a problem, right? After this, no, if you have heard about the house robber problems, right? So there is a problem named as house robber 4 also. Okay, there's a problem named as house robber 4 also. In that also you have to either maximize the minimum or minimize the maximum, right? I cannot open that problem right now because I'm running out of time. But in that, like, please write 4 in the chat. Okay, hr4 in the chat. Okay, there's a problem named as house robber 4 also. First of all, like, if like there's a problem like that, house robber 4 also, in that also you have to either maximize the minimum or minimize the maximum. In that also you use the binary search approach. Okay, नहीं नहीं चौथा भी है भाई. 4 is also there. Ashish Goyal, 4 is also there. Try it out. That is why, like, in my sessions you will get a lot of understanding, right? I will give a lot of references, because otherwise otherwise we think that okay, every problem is a new problem. Don't think like that. Think about whatever we have studied, can we use those things? So whenever you have to minimize the maximum or maximize the minimum, so in this case we have to minimize the maximum length that we are going to remove. So that is why I'm going to use the my search on the map. ठीक है, okay, please write yes +1 in the chat. If you don't know these things, so that is why you are here. Now you will learn these things after this session. You will go back and you will solve the allocation pages problem. Then you will solve the cocoa eating banana. You will solve painter partition and all those problems. Then you will come back to this problem. You will solve house robber 4. So if one contest, one problem can help you solve 4 or 5 problems and help you learn a concept, then from the next time in any online assessment or anything, you will be able to solve it. That's fine, right? फॉर विनिंग बिग बैटल्स, मेरे को तो रिकॉर्डिंग देखनी पड़ेगी, अभी ज्वाइन किया. अरे कोई बात नहीं भाई. Okay, is this much part clear to everyone? Right, is this much part clear? Please write +1, guys. If you know these problems, then you will understand it better. Otherwise you will abuse me that I am not teaching perfectly. But there's this hidden concept behind this. If you don't know, you can just do a YouTube, or you can learn it on Geeks4Geeks, minimize maximum pages and all that. Then you'll understand why we use this concepts. Okay, that is the thing. So that is what we are going to do here as well, right? Whenever we have to minimize the maximum or maximize the minimum, then we do this thing. So what we do is, first of all, we count the number of elements that we want to remove. Then initially we initially we have the, like, how many elements we can remove. So the lowest is 1 and highest is n. Okay, that is what we are doing. And initially we are marking the answer as -1. Okay, so like Aman is also saying +1, Suramanya is also saying +1. Thanks a lot, guys, please hit the like button also. At least let's reach till 50 likes after this session. Okay, so yeah, that is what we are doing. Okay, then we have a habit of writing check function in the binary search. Please write yes in the chat. Okay, we have a habit of writing check function also, right? So I will tell you about check function. Remember this, Madbar Joshi and other people, we have a habit of writing check function, bool check function in the binary search also, right? So we will write this also. I will tell you more about it. Then what I'm writing is, while the low is less equal to high. So let's see a bit of logic about the binary search. So what I'm doing is, like, if let's say this is equal to true, if this returns are true, okay, so instead of asking +1 you should have explained one of the concepts. नहीं sir, बहुत अच्छे से. Which concept you want to understand, Surya, Jaya? If you will not like Jaya, if you will not ask me the question, then how will you how will I answer that? That is another problem. So see, if like I am checking that is it possible. Okay, what I am checking is if I cut this much segment. Okay, what I am checking is if I cut this much length. Okay, if I remove this much if I remove this much mid, what I'm checking is like see, what is the lowest that I can remove? One. Okay, what is the highest that I can remove? I can say as n, right? So I will try to like I will have a mid. Okay, mid will be L plus R by 2, you know that. Okay, so I will check, I will iterate through and I will check that by removing the mid length. Okay, removing the mid length, if the array becomes good array. Okay, if the array becomes good array, right, by removing mid length, understand this thing guys, understand this thing, by removing mid length, if it becomes a good array, then you will say what, you will say that I will store this mid and I will try to lower this length. Okay, I will try like if by removing this much length. Okay, let's say if by removing mid number of mid length sub array, right, by removing a mid length sub array, if by removing the mid length, if you can make it good array, then you will store this and as the answer and you will try to minimize it more. So you will try to go in the left, you will try to search for something better, no, right? Are you getting that? What we are doing is we are going in the check function. Okay, and we are checking for this particular mid length, that by removing this much, can we, if we get a true, so this indicates that if it gives us a true, so in this case if it gives us a true, so what we are doing is यही तो करते हैं, right? We do this thing now, like let's say if you if you remember, like, so if you remember normal, if you have a good idea about binary search on answer, like this is nothing but what, this is nothing but binary search on answer concept only, na guys? Binary search on answer concept, the minimum allocation, painter partition, capacity to ship within d days, a lot of things. So if by removing mid length, if I can do it, then I will store this mid length as the answer and I will try to lower this, right? I will try to check that by I will say that okay, by removing this much mid length I can make the array as good, but can I do it if I make it much more smaller? So I will try to check my I will try to decrease the length. So I will try to check in the left side, I will try to check in the left side, so I'll make high as mid -1. Is that clear? I will try to lower the answer, lower the final answer, right? Is that clear? Is that clear? Right? Is that clear? Please write yes in the chat if for those who have an understanding of binary search and answer. Is that clear? That I will check if by removing this much, we will talk about the check function also, but if by removing, you can write clear in the chat. हाँ sir, बिल्कुल समझ में आ रहा है, चलते रहते आप. Okay, great. So if by removing this much mid, okay, if by removing this much length, okay, if I can do it, then I will try to optimize it more. So अगर अगर 6 length का remove if you are removing a length of 6, right, then you can make it a good sub array. Then you will try to search in the left side, you will try to search for a better answer, right? So that is why you are like if by removing a length of sub array of length 9, if you're getting a better answer, so you'll try to check maybe can we do it in 6, can we do it in 5, can we do it in something else? So that is why we are applying binary search. Otherwise, if it returns a false, so if we go to the else part, so this means that by removing mid number of elements we cannot make it a good array. Okay, so in that case we need to do what? Low is equal to mid +1. Please write +1 in the chat if you are clear with this thing. Very basic and very precise, to be honest. Is it clear to all of you? I know Raghavendra is clear, I know Shubhamanya is clear, I know Ashish is clear, I know Bhavya is clear, I know that Matbad is also kind of clear, I know that Jaya is kind of clear as well. Are you clear with this part, guys? Please write yes. This type of question makes the difference between the two. This type of questions, what with the difference between which two? Difference between what two? What two? Which two? Okay, Ashish, right? Is that clear? If I check with this mid, if by removing this much mid length, if I can make the sub array as good, right? In that case, if I remove this much mid, if I can make the sub array as good, then in that case, So Ashish, I am expecting that in the end you will give me a feedback after the video is over, so then you can comment after the live video is over. Okay, after it gets a normal video, so you can comment in the comment section as well. Okay, so see, answer is equal to mid. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm storing this mid part and I'm searching in the left side for a better answer, right? So if you have done my search on answer, you must be knowing that. Otherwise, if this, by removing this much mid length, if I get a false, so this means that I need to increase the removal length. So I need to search in the right side. So low is equal to mid plus 1. Okay, so that is what I've done here. Please write +1 for this part if you're clear with the basic binary search. And in the end, I will be returning the answer also. So this part also must be fine. Then I will tell you about the check function also. Okay. Is this part clear to everyone, guys? Please write yes in the chat, +1 in the chat, everything in the chat, and then I'll proceed further. I have to ask for +1, okay, Jaya, because if I don't ask it, then how can I move forward? That is the thing. Ravindra, okay. Uh, Others can also write check in the chat. Ashish is writing check. What about Subramanya, Ravindra, Bhavya, Madbar, Jaya? Everyone is clear? This was a good question. I should say that. Although the problem setter is getting abused, but I think this was a good problem. Okay, then what we are doing is we do not want to make changes in the original map. Okay, understand one thing, that we see, whenever you see, then what we will do is we'll try to make the changes, we'll try to decrease the frequency, increase whatever we are trying to do. So let me say one thing, let me use MP here instead of this thing. Just give me a second. And see, I want I want to I am doing what I am doing, count one. See, I'm doing count one is equal to count, right? That is what we are doing here. And I'm also doing I'm taking another map, okay, to store this original map C, right? This is the original map. So I'm storing it so that if I make any changes on it, so it is not reflected on the main, because I want to reserve it. Is that clear? Please give me yes in the chat. Is that clear? Right. Please write clear in the chat. Because I will decrease the count, increase the count. I'll make some changes to the count one, and should I say something else? Should I say it as, what should I say it as? Let's say it as counter or something, right? Let's name it as counter. Let me change the variable names here for you. Just give me a second, okay? Map of this, then I will write this as map also, and I will write this as counter, right? And I will write this as map as well, and I will write this as map as well, and I will write this as counter. Right, counter is telling what? Counter is going to tell you the number of distinct elements, right? So now we are writing the check function. So what is the target of the check function? When will the check function return a true? Okay, the check function is there, we know that, but when will the check function return a true or a false? The check function is going to return true when all, when the counter is equal to what? Counter is equal to nothing but the original count, but I don't want to change the original count again and again, because I'll be calling the check function again and again now. So that is why since I want to make changes to this count, so and I don't want it to get affected because I'll be using again and again, so I'm using a counter variable to store a copy of that. Okay, so whatever changes I'll do, so that I will do. Okay, so this count, so if the counter in the end becomes 0, okay, if after applying the changes, if the counter becomes 0, right? So if the counter becomes 0, so this means what? If the counter becomes 0, right, guys? If the counter becomes 0, so this will basically indicate that all the elements which had a greater frequency, which had frequency greater than k, that segment has been removed. Then only I will return true. That the problem, because now the array will become good array. So when the array becomes good array, that is when I will return true. Otherwise, I will return false. Are you clear with this? Are you clear with this idea, guys? Please write yes in the chat. +1 in the chat. I need to ask for +1 yes in the chat. Okay. When will I return a true? I will return a true when all the elements that were if you will see the counter here, right? Where do we have the counter? Yeah. So for all the elements that had frequency greater than k, I have counted. So whenever, in the end, when all the elements that had frequency greater than k, their frequency becomes all of that becomes normal, then I will return true. Otherwise, I'll return false. So this part is also clear. Yes, this part is also clear. Now let's move further to the part. So I am making a copy of it here. Okay, and I am iterating through the array. Okay, I'm iterating through this array. And what is this check variable? This check variable is x. Okay, so yeah, this basically I can mark this as mid. Just give me a second, okay, because I'm only passing mid now. So yeah, I can pass this as mid only, right? Instead of x, I minus mid, let me pass this as mid. Okay, let me pass this as mid as well. Okay, wherever x is there, let me pass it as mid. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I am basically trying to remove. Okay, I am basically saying that, guys, understand this thing. If like if I have a particular mid, okay, so if I'm removing from this segment till this segment, I minus mid, so basically I minus mid, let's say. Okay, so just a second, let me check again. Yeah, so I minus mid is this part, right? So basically I'm trying to remove this much segment, right? Are you clear with this point, guys? Yes or no? Okay, so this is the sub array that I am trying to return. Sir, इस type का syntax बना रखा है, syntax हाँ, इस type का, this type of syntax is also available. You can write a check function outside also, I don't have any issues, but you can make this basically this is nothing but kind of a bool check function in which you are passing, like in which you have the int mid passed and the array passed, all that. So you can do it outside also, that is also fine for me. Okay, please explain the syntax. Basically, if you want to write it externally, then you can do what? You can write bool, then you can write check, and since I did not want to pass the array, so that is why I've done it like that. Then you can pass the vector int ampersand array, right? So this is the same syntax, basically passing the like arr array with ampersand sign, obviously, right? And then passing int mid. So that is what we are doing here. Like, is that clear? This syntax is nothing but the shorter version of this highlighted part. Lambda function, I don't remember the names, obviously. Not this much. I do not have a habit of remembering this much names, but I hope you are in. Example का ड्राई रन कर लेना, वो थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा. I am exceeding the time already. We are about to reach 1.5 hours, but आपको समझ आना चाहिए, right? So see, basically I am saying that if we are here, right, if you are like, suppose this is the mid kind of, right, and this is I minus mid, so we are trying to iterate throughout the array. Okay, and we are basically trying to remove all this all that much of kind of elements. Okay, so if you will see, if I is greater equal to mid, because I will do I minus mid, so if I is greater equal to mid, in that case what I will do here is I will simply say that I will increase the like we are increasing the frequency of this particular left guy, this particular guy. Okay, and if it becomes equal to k plus 1, then we are increasing the counter. Are you getting this point, sir? Share the code, please. I have shared the link of the code, but I will try to share it again. But I hope आपको समझ में बहुत ज़्यादा आया होगा. I hope that. I hope you must have understood it a lot. And I think this is the correct code, right? If you will do a dry run more, then you will understand much better than what I've explained, obviously. Dry run is important, and having a basic idea is also important. Okay, so then what we do here is basically see, if you are if you are leaving the left side, right, if you are doing what, if you're shifting like on the left side, so if you would like, if you are removing some elements, right, and if you are removing the elements and I is greater equal to this, then in that case your window is kind of shifting, so you are doing plus plus, right? So in that case you do a counter plus plus, because if you not getting this part, sir, no sir, not getting this part. Okay, so not getting this part, how should I explain this part with an example? But example will take a lot of time. Ravindra, if you will do a dry run, na, then you would definitely understand this. Basically, what we are doing is, if we are on the like, if the I value is greater equal to mid, okay, so then only I can access I minus mid. Okay, so if basically understand one thing, right? Understand one thing, like in this case, whenever I am iterating, so what should I say? Initially, if I have a map which has this much frequency, right, so I should say it like how should I say this? Give me a second, let me think. See, basically, first of all, let's forget about this part. Okay, let's talk about the general part. If the ith if you talk about any sir, आप कहीं जाना है क्या, समझा दिया, आपको कहीं जाना है क्या, समझा दीजिए. अरे यार, मेरे मम्मी पापा की एनिवर्सरी है भाई आज, सो मतलब घर में मेहमान आए हुए हैं, बट मैं फिर भी 5 बजे से 5:30 बजे से पढ़ा रहा हूँ GFG पे भाई. ठीक है. ओके सो या और वो भी 25वीं है भाई. ठीक है. 25th anniversary. So yeah, see what we are doing is we are basically if you are here, if you are at any ith element, so if you decrease it, so you can see and it's become k, right? So like see if you अरे सर अब तो खुद समझ लेंगे. Congratulations. अरे भाई मेरे को क्या congratulations. See what we are doing is we are basically doing what, see, forget about this part as of now, right? Forget about this part, focus on this part, right? If like see if I am removing, if I'm removing the ith element, okay, so what should I say here? In this case, if I will tell you like this, how should I say this? If I is greater than equal to mid, okay, so I'm increasing the frequency, right? For all the other elements that are not greater, so I'm increasing their frequency, right? So yeah, I am removing it for I minus mid, I minus mid, I minus mid. Okay, so I'll tell you here like what I'm doing. See, uh, how should I say this? Just give me a second. So basically, what I'm doing here is let's say this is the midpoint. Okay, let's say that this is the midpoint. Okay, so what we are doing is jit, whatever this left segment is, now let's say whatever this left segment is, we say see first of all what we have done is we have copied the previous map. Okay, we have exactly copied the previous map, right? And what we mean like what we do here is like अगर आपने स्लाइडिंग विंडो कभी किया हो एक्चुअली तब आपको समझ में आ जाता. बट सी if it happens, right, if let's talk about the ith element itself. So if I am removing the ith element in general, if I'm removing the ith element, if I am are you getting this point? Like if I is greater, like basically how should I like I don't want to take any specific example with an array, but how should I like let's see if we have a smaller test case, then I can explain it. ये बहुत ज़्यादा small हो जाएगा. Can we take this or not? Can we take this one? Let's take this one for that matter. क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है. ठीक है, ले लेते हैं ये वाला. Okay, so let's say if I have this array guys, अब तो +1 दे दो भाई. Okay, so let's say we have this array 1, 2, 3, then we have 3, then we have what 2, and then we have 1. So if we have this particular array and the indexing is like this, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so k value is given as what? I think the k value is given as 1, right? So let me do a dry run on this one. +1 for like +1. Thanks a lot guys. Okay, so see what I will do is initially the low will be 1 guys, high will be what? High will be I think 6. So what will be the mid value? The mid value will come out to be nothing but I think 3 if I'm not wrong. So the mid value comes out to be 3. Okay, so as per the code I am going to do a dry run for all of you. Okay, so what I will do is just give me a second. Let's move back to this code. Yeah. So if the I value is greater than equal to mid, right? So if I minus, that means if I minus mid is available to me. So first of all, inside the map, what is the scenario? Let me tell you that about that also. Okay. So inside the map, what is happening? Let me just write this here. Okay, I'm having this map right here, and 1 has a frequency of 2, 2 has a frequency of 2, 3 has a frequency of 2. Okay, this is the point. Now after this what we are doing further is 2 has like 1 has a frequency of 2, 2 has a frequency of 2, and 3 has a frequency of 2, right? So after this what I am doing is if my mid value is kind of let's say 3. Okay, so if the mid value is let's say kind of 3 in this case, why am I coming back to this screen? Yeah, if the mid value is 3, then if the I value is greater or equal to mid, so if the like see, is this value greater or equal to mid? No, this value is not greater or equal to mid. Okay, so this value is not greater or equal to mid. So basically in that case what I am doing is I am removing this element, like I am removing this element, one element, right? So see if like basically I will tell you where my mid is currently pointing, right? Mid is pointing like mid value is what? Mid value is 3. Okay, so this value is not greater or equal to 3. So in that, like in that case, I come to this part and I will decrease the frequency of this ith guy, right? Do you share the Java code? I have not written the Java code, to be honest. So I am removing this element. Okay, understood. If I remove this element, so its frequency is decreased by 1. Okay, its frequency is decreased by 1, and the counter was initially what? Counter was initially 3, guys. Okay, now I check after decreasing the frequency, I check if the frequency of a particular element becomes k, right? So does the frequency of this particular element becomes like, does the frequency of this particular element that I have just removed, does it become k? Yes or no, guys? Please tell me. Yes or no? Yes, definitely yes. It becomes 1, right? So it becomes equal to k. So in that case, can I decrease the counter by 1? Because yes, because by if I just remove such kind of a segment, so I am close to getting like I'm close to like 3 elements are there that have the frequency greater than k, but I've reduced one element because I've made one element frequency equal to k, right? So that is what is happening here, right? Ab samajh mein aa raha hai na, guys? Okay, then after that what I will do is I'll move forward, and this is also not greater equal to this. So again I will remove this guy. Please write remove in the chat. Okay, so in that case what I will do here is kind of this thing here. This guy's frequency becomes 1. So I check now. I check of this frequency of the map. So does this become equal to k? Does this frequency become equal k? Yes or no? Does this frequency become equal to k? Yes or no? Yes, it does become equal to k. So this means I have made one more element's frequency equal to k, right, by decreasing it. So obviously when the k value is larger, or elements are also larger, array is larger, then the values would be much higher, and it would be done multiple number of times. But in this case, k value is 1 and elements are given only 2 times, so that is why. So the counter will decrease by 1 more, so the counter will become 1. Okay, so this indicates that itna remove karne pe ho raha hai, right? This indicates that okay, by removing this much part, okay, at least we are able to remove this. Then my I reaches this point, okay, and again I don't go to the if part, right? So in that case, since I'm at this particular point, right, since I'm at this particular point, sir, code में RFI mid लिखा है आपने, RFI is greater equal to mid, ये लिखा है क्या? नहीं, I is greater equal to mid लिखा हुआ है. I is greater equal to mid. Ashish, I have written I is greater equal to mid. Okay, so yeah, when I reach this guy, after that, so this is not greater equal to mid, so I'll not go to the if case, and then again I remove the frequency of this guy. Okay, so then what will happen? It will become kind of what? It will become 0 because I'll decrease the frequency of this guy as well, and it will become k. Please write equal k in the chat. So this guy's frequency also becomes equal k. Then the counter becomes 0. So the check function will return true, that okay, by removing a segment of length 3, by removing a subarray of length 3, it does work for me. By removing a subarray of length 3, it does work for me. Are you clear with this point, guys? Are you clear with this point? Okay, इतना समझ में आया सबको? हाँ या ना? इतना समझ में आ गया? तो जब काउंटर 0 हुआ तो मैंने ट्रू रिटर्न किया, ठीक है? इतना समझे? Yes, understood this much, Raghavendra and all the other people who are there, right? You have done no, you have done one based indexing. No, I have not done one based indexing. This low is indicating, low and high are, low is indicating 1 because 1 is the minimum segment length that I can try to remove, and high is 6 because that is the maximum length segment. Mid is the length of the subarray that I can remove. So it is 0 based indexes. You can traverse till index 2. No, don't think about that, Jaya. Don't think about that. I am doing 0 based index things only. But like low is nothing but the low is 1 because low is going to tell me the minimum length that I can remove, and high is going to tell me the maximum length subarray that I can remove. Understood this thing, Jaya? Please write +1 now, Jaya, if you understood this thing. Yes or no? Understood this part? Okay, so that is why like we take low and high very precisely. So low is telling me the minimum length of segment that I can remove, minimum subarray that I can remove, and high is telling me the maximum subarray that I can remove. That is why it is not based on the array indexing. No. Okay, up now I will tell you one more thing. Okay, let's say what was happening was, if the counter did not become 0. Okay, so how does the counter not become 0? Let me take a different case. Okay, let me tell you this. Let's do one thing for all of you, right? Let me write something like this. Okay, and then let me write something like this, right? If I write something like this, okay, so if the mid value is 3, let's say if the mid value is 3 for this case, now you will understand it. Okay, so if the mid value is 3, understand this thing, guys. Okay, so see, let's start for this guy, and initially the counter is 3. So what will happen initially? Let's see that let's say that their frequencies are, all of their frequencies are 2 to 2, 2 to 2. Okay, then what will happen is now I will be at this guy. Okay, so since I am at this guy, so this is the sliding window concept. Now you will give me a +1 freely, because see, now I'll be at this guy. Now if I am at this guy, so what am I going to do? I'm going to decrease its frequency. So its frequency becomes what? 1, which is equal to k. So then counter will be decreased, so the counter becomes nothing but 2. Okay, after that what happens? I move to the next element. So when I move to the next element, then again I decrease the frequency of this guy. So the frequency of this element becomes equal to k. Okay, so the counter becomes nothing but 1 here. Okay, that is what happens. Then after that, when I move to the next element, okay, so when I move to the next element, okay, yeah, just give me a second. Yeah, so when I move to the next element, just let me check this part out. Okay, yeah, so yeah, when I move to the next element again, so again I decrease the frequency, right? Because I'm trying to remove this segment, so again I decrease the frequency. So that is why the frequency of this 2 becomes 0. Okay, because I've tried to remove it, but still you can say that counter is still 1. Why is it 1? Can you tell me? Jay Surya, it reminds me the player from Sri Lanka, right? Sanath Jay Surya. If the counter, why is the counter still 1? Because 3 has still not been removed. 3 is still having a higher frequency. So this means that even if I try to remove this segment, it does not work. If the mid value is 3, guys, right? If the mid value is 3, right? If the mid value is 3, then in such a situation you can simply understand one thing. If the mid value is 3, then what I've tried to do is I've tried to remove this much segment. Okay, this much segment, और यहीं पे sliding window लग रही है. This is the concept of sliding window also. This is a concept of map plus sliding window, right? Plus the binary search also. So very good problem, to be honest. Okay, now what I will do is, अब window shift करने का time आ गया ना. Now the time is to shift the window. So now I want to do this, right? Agree with me, yes or no? Are you getting my point, guys? Getting my point, what I'm trying to say? Now you will shift the window. So when you will shift the window, okay, please write shift in the chat. It will shift now, right? Agree with me, because now your 1 pointer will come here. So you have to remove this element and you have to add this element back, right? Please write add remove in the chat if you agree with me, right? Are you getting this point, guys? Because what you have to do now is you have to add this guy, up, and you have to remove this guy. Right, agree with me, because now you have to, the mid value is 3, so you want to have a window of 3 like this. So now you have to remove this element and indirectly you have to add this element, because this element is now indirectly not getting removed from the window. So that is why I check that if the I value becomes greater or equal to mid, okay, then what I will do is I minus mid is this guy, so I will add it. Please write +1 in the chat. Sir, आपका काम पूरा हुआ, हम ड्राई रन की बारी है. हाँ भाई, और क्या, समझ में तो आ ही गया होगा अब तक. प्लस करेंगे ना, इसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी बढ़ा देंगे, तो इसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी कितना कर देंगे? 2 कर देंगे. ठीक है, so this guy's frequency will be marked as 2. So the moment it happens that so I minus if I becomes greater equal to mid, so this means that one element from the left, since I have left this window, so this is the new window, right? So in that case, what I need to do is, since I have this window is getting added again indirectly, because now this subarray is not getting, this guy is not getting removed, this guy is indirectly getting added. So now I will check, does the frequency of this guy become 2? Yes or no? Tell me, guys. Does the frequency of this guy become k plus 1? Yes, it becomes k plus 1. That is why what I have to do is I have to increase the counter by 1. So that is why the counter becomes 2. Because if you see in this window, then only if you see this current window, right? So if you see this particular current window, then indirectly you can say what? Indirectly you can say that in this particular window, what we are having is we are having this particular thing. What should I say? We are only removing one element. That is one occurrence of 2. So occurrence of 2 is only control, so that is why the counter is 2, because 1 and 3 are still not under control, and it will become control because when I will remove the ith element, so 3 will get removed, and then the counter will become 1, sorry, and then the counter becomes 1. So still I am having a difficulty, right? Is this much part clear? Please write +1 in the chat. This type of question can be expected in FANG. Yes. So that is what I try to say, that GFG brings good problems. The problem setters are good, but sometimes they might make mistakes. All of us are humans. But please give me +1, Jaya, and everyone, if you're clear with everything. and the dry run and everything that I've told. Okay, so then again when you will shift the window, okay, again when you will shift the window, guys, what will happen? Again when you shift the window, then you have to add, like, then you have to remove this guy and you'll have to add this guy. So that is why what you will do is you will again add the leftmost element, and then you will check if it becomes k plus 1, then you'll again increase the counter because it has occurred again, right? Does that make sense? Yes. And if at some moment of time if the counter becomes 0, then you will return true, otherwise false. So that's a very beautiful implementation of by search on answer. Okay, right? So this problem is very, very good, very, very good problem. Okay, and it was indeed a hard problem, I would say. Is that clear? What is the time complexity? N log n? Yes, I think so. It would be overall, it would be n log n only. You can say that roughly it would be n log n. Yeah, n log n, because log n, why? Because see, for one binary search, I am iterating through whole of the map. In the worst case, I am iterating through order of n, all of the array, sorry. So log n times the binary search is going to run, right? So it will be n log of log n overall, right? Submit कर दिया ना एक बार, submit तो भाई submitted ही था, मतलब it was accepted, my code was accepted actually, it was an accepted code. So I will do one thing, I will just erase this part again. Nothing less than +1, and I want all of you to comment in the chat if you have stayed till the end, if you have understood everything, then I want you to give me a +1 in the chat. You can see I have submitted it. Also, I have made 2 times mistake as well, na? So 4 attempts I also had to give. Okay, right? Understood this? Like, so this problem, question number 3, was a very beautiful problem. So that is why I asked you to stay till the end. Question number 3 was nothing but it was a very good implementation of hashing, right? We used hashing here, plus we used what? Plus we used by search, right? Plus the concept of the sliding window as well, right? So that is how we did it. Okay, मजा आया? सबको मजा आया? सब लोग हैप्पी एनिवर्सरी भी लिख दो यार, मेरे घर वाले देख रहे होंगे, मतलब कुछ लोग शायद बाद में देख ले. सो हैप्पी एनिवर्सरी इन द चैट, मतलब हैप्पी 25th एनिवर्सरी इन द चैट सब लोग लिख दो, ठीक है? मम्मी पापा की आज है. बाय. I am sitting since 5:30 and now it's 10:10. Okay, so since then I have been sitting for GFG today. Okay, fine. Uncle and auntie from GFG student, you will comment this after the video is over also. Okay, you will comment this after this video is over also. Okay, so yeah, I've been sitting since, like, I had as a backup since this time, and also I solved the like in the morning I solve this contest also, like, because I had been given an earlier access. घर वाले कोडिंग वीडियो देखेंगे नहीं, मेरे को देखने आ जाए तो, या मैं उन लोगों को दिखा दूंगा भाई. भाई ठीक है. ओके, आई होप दैट यू अंडरस्टूड इट. ओके, मजा आया होगा. हिट द लाइक बटन इफ यू हैव अंडरस्टूड इट टिल द एंड. ओके, राइट. So I've been sitting since 5:30 and in the morning I was also solving this contest, and this is what we have been doing. So I hope that you understood this very beautiful problem, right? I have given the code, although I can try to give it again if I have the link generated. Yeah, so I do have the link. So just it was a very good problem, to be honest, right? I'll remember this problem. After this video is over, all of you have to comment happy anniversary uncle and auntie, happy 25th anniversary uncle and auntie. Okay, you have to comment this thing. If you like the explanation, especially for the last and the first problem, and second problem was also understood. I did not do so much dry run, otherwise it would go 2 hour long video. People will not watch the recorded version. That is why I don't do it. Okay, so all right. So yeah, thanks a lot, Ashish. Thanks a lot, Ravindra. Thanks a lot, Subramanya. Thanks a lot, Vanshika. Thanks a lot, Ravindra. And this is the code that I have given. Okay. So shall we wrap up? Happy anniversary, Jaya Surya is also saying. So thanks a lot, Jaya Surya, as well. Okay, so after this video is over, you can comment down understood and happy anniversary uncle and auntie in the chat, and I'll be very happy. And till then, good night, take care, and make sure to keep solving the problem of the day, keep solving the GFG weekly contest. Okay, if you want more such editorials, you can comment down understood +1 in the chat. I try to explain as best as possible, as dry run as possible. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining, and thank you, and have a nice day. Have a nice night at least, right? So thank you, everyone, and bye. Take care. Good night, and thanks a lot for joining till the end. Just after this video is over, just refresh your feed. Okay, like I am just telling you one thing. After this video will be over, just refresh your feed, okay, and then you can normally comment. So comment happy anniversary, 25th anniversary uncle and auntie, and also comment that understood, and it was a good session also, that if you liked it genuinely. Okay, thank you everyone, good night, bye, take care, and I'll see you with another video, that is problem of the day on Tuesday. Thanks a lot everyone, bye, good night, take care, all the very best.